Good evening and welcome to a Thursday night edition of Kicking It with FC Woodhaven. Tonight we're going to recap this past weekend. We had a lot going on at the field this weekend. We had a pre-developmental and a developmental league orientation where parents come down to the field, they get their schedules, they get their T-shirts, and we had a bunch of Long Island Cup games this weekend. Let's start off with the orientation. And again, I always try to do orientation on a day where we have a lot of games. So this way, as parents come in, they can watch some games and see what our travel players go through, what games are like. And, it makes it a lot easier for the first day of the developmental league where majority of the players have their T-shirts and everything. What we also did was we actually set up another one. We have an orientation set up for April 2nd. So that's a week from this Saturday. So in the past, I've always liked to do the orientation on days that we have a lot of games. So this weekend was, basically kickoff of the season. In the spring season, we always start off with the Long Island Cup. And with the Long Island Cup, it's for teams that are part of the Long Island Junior Soccer League. So we're able to participate in the Long Island Cup. We had 6 teams entered in the Long Island Cup. We had a girls U9, boys U10, boys U12, girls U12, boys U14, and boys U17. When you get to the Long Island Cup, it's always, tricky. It's a single game elimination. You lose, you're out. So when you look at the expense that it costs to enter into the Long Island Cup, you always, you hate the one and dones. But we had 6 teams in the Long Island Cup, which means we had 6 games. And for the first time ever, we actually had all 6 teams play at home. So we had 4 on Saturday and we had 2 on Sunday. I'm going to recap the games, but overall we went 4-2, which was very good. Being that they were home games, I was able to watch every single game, so which is always good to watch the games. I love watching the different age groups, different coaching styles, different players. So overall we were 4-2. So Saturday we opened up with our girls U9, which they're coming off an amazing season. Last season they won the division title. They also advanced into New York Cup, which now they're entering the elimination games now. So it was really good to see, how they were going to react after last season, after an amazing season. But, as we always say, last season is last season, and, we move forward. The only drawback with the opening round was we were missing 4 players. So we knew it was going to be a little bit difficult as far as with that. But right off the bat, before I even give any results or anything like that, that was probably in 2 years the best game I've seen those girls play. I mean, we moved the ball, we dominated the game. It was just very, very exciting. It's great to see the development. Again, I always talk about development. It was great to see the development of those girls, of what they've been working hard for, what they've been accomplishing. But again, they lost 3-1. And that was a game that, yes, the score was 3-1. We lost the game, but it did not feel like a loss. I mean, they played absolutely amazing. They played Manaville. And I have to say, the coaching staff was genuine. I mean, the girls on the other team of Manaville, they were sweet. It was just an amazing game. I've been telling everyone that if you were going to watch a youth soccer game, okay, whether it's boys or girls, this was a youth soccer game of 7, 8, 9-year-olds, okay? This was a game to videotape and just see the passion that every single player had on the field. It was just absolutely an amazing atmosphere. And again, this is coming from a game that we actually lost, and how positive I am as far as with that. But again, it was back and forth. I do say we were the better team. We had a plethora of scoring opportunities. Okay. I mean, we had chance after chance after chance. You know, and even got to the point with the last 6 minutes, we were down 2-1. We had gotten a PK, and Madison actually took a beautiful shot. The goalkeeper made a phenomenal save, and it's just there's nothing you can do. I mean, listen, we were playing to win. Mandeville was playing to win. I mean, overall, it was an absolutely amazing game. You know, and I even told the girls after the game, you know, before Coach Nadia, you know, spoke to them, that again, I was proud of them. The best game I've ever seen. And I even joked around with them, and I said to them, I says, when have you ever seen me happy after a loss? I mean, those are games that, listen, two teams are playing, and somebody had to win, and it was just a great game all around. Very good game. Very proud of the girls, even though they got knocked out of the Long Island Cup. But it showed that this is going to be a great season. I mean, they're in one of the toughest divisions. They were in the toughest bracket for the Long Island Cup. And it just gives them so much momentum and experience moving forward into the start of league play and the New York Cup game that they have on Sunday, April 3rd, which they're playing upstate in LaGrange, New York. So it just gives them a ton of confidence, and I couldn't be any more proud of the way they played. So, you know, so when you started off Saturday, and I always tell everyone, you know, when you have a lot of home games and you start that first game off with a loss, it's almost like, all right, how's the rest of the day going to go? But it was, again, I couldn't ask for anything more. The effort was there. I mean, we had chances. It was just overall great game. And the only negative that came out of it was the result wasn't in our favor. But I congratulated Mandeville. Those girls were great. They were so, you know, they were happy and congratulatory. I mean, it was just overall great game. I can't say it enough. And, you know, unfortunately, we got the loss, you know, which was 3-1. Right. You know, and then the next game, we moved into our boys U10, which again, we were missing a player or two on that team. And again, when you get into the Long Island Cup, you know, these games, you're playing to win, because you know if you don't win, you can't move on. And we had a new player that we had signed that played in the game, Marlon. We knew he was going to be good, but again, you know, with a new player, first time to travel, you didn't know how the nerves were going to be. But I have to say, after watching the game that I had seen before with the girls U9 and then going into the boys U10, again, I knew within 10, 15 minutes, this was going to be a great season. You know, it was back and forth. Once again, we were moving the ball. We were playing our style. We were playing from the back. We were switching the fields, you know, and it was about 15 minutes into the game where, you know, Coach Ricky and I were talking that we're like watching Marlon, and we're like, wow, this may be the missing piece we were missing from this team. You know, it was a great first half. You know, we actually got a goal late in first half to take a 1-0 lead, which was good. You know, and with the boys U10, I forgot to mention, we were playing, you know, Rockville Center, which that team was also in our division as well. So it was a team that we were all going to see in our league play. You know, so it was very tight in the first half. You know, we had some chances as well. You know, a lot of times, you know, shooting the ball right at the keeper. You know, but we dominated the game. We felt good going into the second half. And, you know, when we got into the second half and we got that second goal, we knew that it was, you know, if we held on, kept our shape, kept pressuring, it was, the result was going to go our way, you know. And we actually wind up getting the third goal. And, you know, I started off talking about the boys U10, about Marlon, the new player. And it just so happens the first goal that was scored was by Marlon. So it was great to see a new player join the team, get the goal, and but it was, again, We dominated the game. We moved the ball. We played exactly the same way we wanted to play. And, once we got the third goal, like I said, we were very confident. We knew we were going to, finish off the last 5-10 minutes of the game and really, finish the way we started the game. So the boys U10 actually won the game 3-0. It was great to see, especially after the girls U9 game. So after game number 2, we found ourselves 1-1. And at this point on Saturday, the temperature started to drop, and you started seeing how it was getting a little chilly. So that affects the players. I mean, they get there to warm up, and it's already, it's one temperature, and then within 20-25 minutes, their game's supposed to start, and now the temperature starts changing. But at our field, that always happens. So we're starting to get prepared for that. But the third game was our girls U12. Coach Stephanie now coaches our girls U12, and again, we lost some players. We really weren't sure how this was going to go. We entered them into some tournaments. They competed in every single tournament that they played in some of those games. So we just didn't know what to expect. And within the first 5 minutes of the game, we saw the girls move the ball. And, with anything, I said, wow, if they keep playing like this and move the ball, we're going to have a shot. And within the first 5 to 7 minutes, we had two shots on goal. And, right at the keeper, it was a theme of the day, not finishing and, making the other goalkeeper look good. But, 10 minutes into the game, we felt that if we can get one, it was going to give the girls confidence and just and you could tell with the girls, they were out there, they were competing, they were playing hard, they were having fun, but you could tell that they were a little bit anxious and they were trying to get that first goal. But we actually got the first goal late into the first half, which gave us a lot of confidence, a lot of momentum. Coach Stephanie did a great job at halftime, on some tactics and on telling them about keeping their shape. And we had a feeling that going into the second half, the experience of most of the players on the team and the conditioning that they've been working on, we were going to wear the other team down. And they played a Valley Street team. And 5 minutes into the second half, we got the second goal. And then they just exploded after that. I mean, they wind up winning the game 5-0, which was great to see because, again, completely honest, we didn't know what to expect. We lost some key players on that team, but we still have a lot of experienced players on the team. We added some girls to the team also, but again, they're new to travel. You didn't know how they're going to respond. And you could not ask for anything better. I mean, again, so proud of the girls because they gave everything they have. And that's one thing with these girls. They are going to give everything they have, game in and game out, regardless of what the results are going to be. But as far as for the first game, Long Island Cup, and these girls, technically, this team, they're defending their Long Island Cup title because a year ago, they won the Long Island Cup. So they are actually defending their title. And you can tell that they're not, if they're going to lose the title, the teams that they're going to have to play are going to have to work for it, earn it, because we're not going to let anyone take it. So proud of the girls. I mean, girls U12, they won 5-0 over Valley Stream. So that was, the third game. So we found ourselves 2-1 going into the final game. Now, the final game on Saturday with the boys U12. And listen, this is a team that the biggest challenge with this team is keeping them motivated and keeping them challenged because, we're trying to push them up slowly, moving up in the divisions. And this is going to be the final season where, we're trying to tweak some things. And going into September, we know we're going to challenge this team, push them. So again, going, before the weekend had started, I had basically penciled the Boys U12 down for a win. We knew the team they were playing HBC, and we knew it was going to be a W. Okay, we knew we were going to move on to the Long Island Cup, but again, you still have to play the games, and you have to keep the players motivated, and they have to play the way we want them to play. And again, 5-10 minutes into the game, I think it was 3-4-0. I mean, it was a game where, listen, they could have scored 20 goals in that game. They wind up the final score. It's almost embarrassing to say, but the final score was 9-0, and it was able to, 20 minutes into the game, we knew the direction it was going to go in. But they are also another team that is going to have a tough matchup in the New York Cup, which they're actually also playing upstate New York. They're playing the same club as the Girls Unite, LaGrange. So they play April 3rd, and both teams actually play 1 o'clock in the same complex. So it's great to see that both teams are going to be over there. So they'll be able to support each other. And, hopefully the fields are close enough where, coaches and parents can actually keep an eye on both games. So at the end of Saturday, after 4 games, we went 3-1, which was absolutely great because, again, the one loss was the Girls U9, and honestly, they could not have played any better. So it was absolutely a great Saturday with the Long Island Cup going 3-1. And again, as I mentioned with the Long Island Cup games, again, we had orientation going on. We had Giovanna and Lisa at the table. We had our tent up, and I think it was a great atmosphere for, people coming in, because as they're coming in, they're seeing the games going on, and it was just a great atmosphere at the field to, have these games going on, have orientation going on, and, you get to have developmental league and the pre-developmental parents see a different aspect of the club as far as the travel side. So it was good to see. And, and again, even though I'm on the sidelines and I'm on the sidelines of the games, I'm keeping my eye out on the table. And you see, parents with the T-shirts, and they're putting the T-shirts on the kids, and they're taking pictures and everything. So, again, it's always great to see. I always love to see new players coming into the club. And Saturday was just absolutely, overall, a great day. So we found ourselves going 3-1 with the Girls U9 losing 3-1, the Boys U10 winning 3-0, Girls U12 winning 5-0, and the Boys U12 winning 9-0. So that took us into that took care of Saturday. And now going into Sunday, you had 2 key games because, again, you start 3-1. Now it's like, well, let's add to it now, because let's get even more teams to advance. So the first game was our Boys U14. And again, here's another team that we have added a couple of key players that we think are missing pieces. Coach Penny and Coach Carlos are challenging these players at training. They now know that every player is going to be held accountable. So, we found ourselves playing against Oyster Bay, which, again, Oyster Bay was a Division II team. We had played Oyster Bay twice last year, where we played them in the Long Island Cup and lost. We played them in the league play and lost. So we knew the challenge was going to be there. And again, we played them twice. The first time, I think they beat us 4-0. Second time, they beat us 3-1. So we knew it was going to be a tough matchup. But again, team is different. The culture is different. The players have matured. After last season, they're hungry. They're motivated. They want to get back to a year and a half ago when they won the division title. So it was good to see how the 3 new players were going to fit into the team. And again, here's a game that for the first 10, 15 minutes, we controlled possession. And I knew that just by that first 10, 12 minutes that I watched that it was going to, no matter, and again, this is before anybody had scored, we knew that the results were going to be positive throughout the season. And again, here's a new team. Here's a team with one of the new players, Joshua, that opened up the scoring, scored, gave us the 1-0 lead. And if you notice the trend here, boys U10 had a new player. He started the first. He scored the first goal. Boys U14, new player added in, Joshua. He scored the goal. So it's great to see that the new players we brought in made a great impact, which number one means we were right to sign these players. And their teammates just embraced them right away. So, I mean, you couldn't ask for anything better than that. But again, we just kept our shape, moved the ball. We had a lot of corner kicks, a couple of set pieces, but it was very key when we got that first goal. We actually then came away with about 7 minutes left in the first half to actually get that second goal. And we took a 2-0 lead. And a 2-0, I'm telling you, I felt very confident. I mean, only because we saw how the team was playing. But give Oyster Bay credit. They knew that, they wanted it. They didn't want to, they knew if the game got to 3-0, it was definitely going to be over. But to their credit, they came down a couple minutes before the first half, and they got a goal, which made it 2-1. So we led 2-1 at halftime. And at halftime, again, we knew that it was going to be a struggle. But I have to say, though, the second half was a little sloppy. But Coach Penny and Coach Carlos were moving some positions around, because, again, as much as it's a Long Island Cup, it's basically some new players. We're trying to feel out some different players, trying to challenge some different players, so they moved some positions around. But you know what? Again, total team effort, because everybody helped in this victory. They held on for the win, and it was a 2-1 victory over a team that we have lost to twice, who was in Division II. So it was a great accomplishment. I mean, it was great to see. The boys were very happy. I mean, Joshua is, and here's I have to talk about Joshua, okay? Because here's a kid who's going to be 14 years old. He's humbled. He absolutely loves being on a travel team. All right. He lives in Brooklyn. He travels an hour and a half to an hour and 40 minutes to get to training, to get to games. Okay. I mean, this is someone that, he wants it. He wants to improve. And the dedication that he shows, he's a great kid, so respectful. It was great to see him embraced by his teammates. And it was great to see him having such an impact on the team on his very first official game with the boys U14. So, I mean, great accomplishment by all 17 players of the boys U14. I mean, great job by Coach Penny and Coach Carlos. And it was very good to see them advance to round 2 of the Long Island Cup. They deserved it. They earned it. And, so we found ourselves on Sunday winning that first game to get ourselves to 4-1 in the Long Island Cup. And, we then went into the boys U17 game. And again, the boys U17, again, I did not know what to expect. To be honest, I don't know if Coach Ricky, they had a couple of scrimmages, and, you had some players that played high school soccer the season before, so we didn't put them in Long Island Juniors. So some of these players were coming off a long layoff. To work in progress, we added a lot of new players onto that team. But then again, we also have a lot of experienced players on the team, But again, with this team, we had illnesses that affected them. So that, players that couldn't train. We had players that missed some training sessions, so their playing time were affected, which had some other players step up. And again, The result did not go the way we wanted it. I think we lost the game 5-1 or 6-1. Honestly, 3 or 4 of the goals were just on little simple mistakes. But for a 5-1 game or a 6-1 game, again, I have to say, I mean, my exact quote was, "It's not, it's better than I thought," only because, again, they moved the ball, they played well. Uh, a couple of counterattacks here and there. We gave up some easy goals, but I think when you can get everybody consistently at training, this team is going to be just fine. So it was, even though it was a loss, told us a lot. We know some areas that have to work on, and the best thing that I can say is the team came away with a loss. Okay, they're eliminated from the cup. League play starts next week. But when you went into Tuesday's training session, there was only one player missing from training. And again, it was excused because of, we know the reason why they couldn't come to training. But that's what you wanted to see. After a tough loss, the team was there training, working hard. They're actually, right now as we speak, they're at the field now training. And again, listen, training is only going to make these teams better. We want to see the commitment. So, it didn't go the way we wanted it, but again, it wasn't as bad as I thought. We actually played really well. A couple of, missed opportunities on our end. I mean, we had a lot of corner kicks. We actually had a lot of free kicks. We missed some here and there. So overall, honestly, it really wasn't that bad. I think they're going to be fine going into league play. So we had finished up the cup 4-2. 4 teams advanced to round 2. Now with 4 teams, we have 2 that are going to be playing at home on April 9th. We have the boys U12 and the boys U14 will find themselves on the road. So we're gonna, hopefully we can get all 4 to advance to round 3. Because again, the Long Island Cup, it's a great competition. It's a great tournament. Yes, the negative is with that first game, you lose, you're out. But you know what? It just, it keeps you motivated, and the desire of you don't want to get out. So it's I've always loved the Long Island Cup. Last year, a year ago, we had like I told you, our girls U12 actually went to the finals and won. Our boys U15 at the time, which is a mixture of the boys U16 and U17 team now, went to the finals. They lost in the finals, but it seems that every year we get 1 or 2 teams to the finals. So we're hoping to duplicate that this season and possibly get more than 2 there, which is a strong possibility. Because I have to say, I love the chances of the boys U10. I love the chances of the boys U12. I love the chances of the boys U14. And I'm going to tell you right now, I think the girls U12 are going to surprise me. And I think they're going to make a deep run into the Long Island Cup. So it's going to be very exciting with the Long Island Cup competition. So now we go into next week where all our teams now, even our teams that participate in JSS, New York Club Soccer League, everybody has games next weekend. So it's going to be a big weekend. We also have 2 additional New York Cup games. So, our girls U9 are going to find themselves playing 2 games. Our boys U12 are going to find themselves playing 2 games. So there's a lot of games for next week. We also have, like I mentioned, another orientation. But again, I wanted to do tonight's show just to give a recap, get into the flow of really getting a recap of the games. All our teams are pretty much signed up for Memorial Day tournaments. We have our younger teams competing in the East Meadow tournament. We have the majority of our other teams will all be heading up to East Fishkill, which, again, we did that tournament last year. It's a great tournament, great competition. East Fishkill really puts on a nice tournament over there. And, we look forward to having our teams there as well. But again, that's the recap on the Long Island Cup. We went 4-2, which very satisfied. Every single team played well. Couldn't ask for anything better than that. Yes, we suffered 2 losses, but you know what? That happens. And we're preparing ourselves for next week when every single team hits the ground. You know, we also have a lot of home games and everything like that. So that's it. Our spring season is here. We're ready to go. It's exciting. You know, today you don't know about the weather because it's a little windy out there, but the temperatures are getting warmer and we're getting into our spring season. So I love the spring season, and you know, you got to love the daylight. You know, it's good to see when next weekend when all our teams get out there, they finally have their official games. But we're coming off our best season ever. Last season, again, you know, positive result. We got a positive result in 81% of our games, which is extraordinary. I think this is going to be as good, if not even a little bit better. It's always difficult when you come off your best season ever because it's like, you know, how do you duplicate that? But you know what? How you duplicate that is the wonderful coaches that we have, the wonderful players that we have, because everybody's putting in the hard work. Everybody's developing players. And again, it's just about improving week after week after week. And we're putting ourselves in great situations to have positive results. And everybody's getting better. So it's just great to see and very exciting. And, you know, again, we know the positive results are going to be there. So I'm going to do a show next week also. I may be doing the show on Thursday. I have something planned on Wednesday. Eventually, we will get back into the Wednesdays. But that's it. We're going to start giving the recaps of the games. You know, constantly go to our website on the team pages, woodhavensoccerclub.com. Our social media presence is amazing. Follow us on Twitter, which at FC Woodhaven. Follow us on Instagram at Woodhaven Soccer. Facebook, again, I've mentioned it on the show. We have almost 13,000 likes, followers. I mean, you find a youth club out there that has that many likes and followers. So we do a great job on social media. Follow us on Facebook, Woodhaven Soccer Club, and you can keep up on everything. Couple things. Summer camp registration is in full force. Registration has opened. I already think we have about 24, 25 players already registered for summer camp. So get your summer camp registrations in. We have 2 spots left for our spring break camp, April 25th to April 28th. So we have a couple of spots left on there. If you go to our website about the developmental programs, you'll see certain age groups. We have no more spots left. So we're really coming to the end. Developmental league starts in a week and a half. So we have a lot of good things going on. Always go to our website, woodhavensoccerclub.com. Follow us on social media. You'll get caught up on everything. And, you know, all the information you need is on social media or on our website. So for this week, again, I want to wish everybody a happy Easter. We will see you next week. And again, we'll put it out there. It's probably going to be Thursday night again, but we will get into a routine where we're doing it every Wednesday night. We will start to get guests coming in. We will get back to doing New York City FC giveaways. Everybody loves the giveaways. We're going to start giving away a lot of tickets to games. So a lot of great things happening. I want to thank everyone for watching tonight, and we'll see you next week. Good night.